Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in on this lovely Saturday where I'm at. Today, I happen to have Jan from New York City Saves Money on along with me, but I don't have her per se beside me like I normally do. So she has sent me a clip that I'm going to go ahead and bring on and she's going to give a few pointers that she wants to give to all of you, and then I'll come in with my part and give, however you want to look at it, my 2 cents, my 5 cents worth of information, and that's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and pull her in, and we'll go from there.
Who's ready for some Saturday afternoon tips and tricks? Thanks for having me here, Steve. Back in a second. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love, as most of you viewing know, I love to help people keep their money. I have some bullet points I'd like to go over, and these are really important in this mixed bag of tips and tricks, or tricks and tips. Here you go. This one is like by far one of the most important. Always, always, always live below your means. What does that mean? That means you have to live with the money that you have as income. You can't exceed that. You just can't do that. And the reason for that is a very simple, basic math principle. You want to know what that is? 2 plus 4 will never equal 5. What is it going to equal? 6. So what that actually means is some people think, for example, that if they live on credit cards, that's an income. Your credit card is not your income. It becomes a problem. Living on your credit card is not a good thing. Always live below your means, within your means. You need to add your income, you get a side hustle. That's what you have to do. Or severely, severely cut back. Now, this one, because of time constraint, I can't stay too much longer on here, so I want to make my points. Go meatless to save, but watch out. Yes, I encourage people to go meatless a few times a week. However, while you're looking around you, some of those plant-based meals can be on the hefty side if you're not careful. So if you're not eating meat to save money and you're spending more money on the substitute, what is the point? Unless you're just choosing on purpose that you prefer to go, without meat, for whatever reason, a health reason or something. But if it's just for saving money, just cut back and have less meat. Very, very helpful. And the next thing to do is that you should be mindful of stressful shopping. Believe it or not, in about, I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week on my channel, there's going to be a whole video devoted to stressful shopping. And yes, many times, because out of learned habits, I can't get into it too much, but I'm giving you a little appetizer. It's going to be a great show. Many times, from just force of habit, from old habits, people shop out of stress, even for things that they don't even really want. Never mind, not only do they not need it, they don't even want it. That can be really, really a tough thing, and that could be such a waste. Steve, I want to thank you so much for having me here, and it's going to be great. And I know you're going to remind the folks about a very special event on Sunday afternoon. So thank you, Steve. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and Steve will take it from there, and he'll let you know what I'm talking about. Take good care, everybody. Have an amazing day.
All right. Well, Jan, thank you very much for um, your tips, your input. Now, I gotta throw in mine. I agree with you 100% on everything that you said on all the way across the board. Yeah, but live within your means. Again, one of the things that I tend to do, and I've said it before, but I really don't mind saying it again, is not all of us go out and make a paycheck every 2 weeks, every week, however you get paid. Some of us are on a fixed income, which means on the third of the month, first of the month, however you get your monies, that's all the money that you have to work with for that month. That's it. You don't have any more, you don't have any less. So once all of your bills are paid, take whatever dollar amount that you have remaining and count how many days it is from that particular day to the next month day that you get your money. Divide that amount of days into what's left. Whatever number amount you get, 20, 22, 18. I'm just throwing that number out for measure. Um, Try to live on that amount on that day. That's the amount, that's what you have to work with for that day. Whatever you don't use or don't spend, that amount will carry over to the next day. And same goes for that day, and so on and so on and so on. Um, that's another way of living within your means. That's what I do. I do that system all the time. Credit card is not an income. Credit card is nothing more than a debt. If you let it become a debt, um, it's nothing more than a tool. It is a short term loan. That's the way that it was meant to be used. It's also meant to be used in a emergency, not an emergency fund. That's a completely different thing. Again, your car breaks down. Can't control that. It can happen. You may not have the money on you in cash, but you have the card. Put it on your credit card. That'll help you pay it, when your income or when you can get to an ATM or when you get the means to do it, you can pay what you charged off. But no, a credit card is not an income. No way, no how. It can actually make your income go down because that'll cause your amount going out to go up. So definitely be careful when you use a credit card. It can work for you, it can also work against you. So be careful. And again, all of this information that I'm giving you about credit card is things that I've learned along the way, mostly trials, maybe one or two errors. And the errors were not anything that really went against me. And this is not something that comes out of a book, nothing that is prefabricated. This is the real deal. This is information that I picked up and learned along the way. So this is straight up information and it's legit. Now, a side hustle that Jan had talked about. Okay, you need some extra money. Look around where you live. Look and see what things you have lying around that you don't use. That's really of no value to you. You can always put it up for sale. You can always run something on Craigslist, let go, offer up, you know, places like that that you can go and place an ad for free. It won't cost you anything. And if somebody wants to purchase your item, I do highly encourage this. Do not have them come to where you live. I have my reasons for saying that. It's better to go ahead and meet somebody at a halfway point, and if they like what you have, they buy your item, they give you the money, and that's the end of that. So definitely look around and see what items you may have lying around your place or sitting that's of no value to you that may be of value to somebody else that you could easily put up for sale and make a little money. She happened to mention about meatless meals. Okay, I tend to do that. Does every meal that you have to have meat in it? No, it does not. There are times that I like to just sit down and have a couple of servings of vegetables and maybe a side of rice or potato or potatoes or some type of carb. Um, that does help cut down on your grocery bill as well. But no, you do not have to have a meat in your meal each and every day. You can certainly do that several times a week, as Jan spoke about. You can do it every night of the week or day of the week. You can have vegetables for lunch. You don't necessarily have to have it for a specific meal. Um, I tend to do something called the flip flop, and I'll tell you what that is right quick. If I tend to go a little overboard on carbs, say a particular meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the following meal I'll back it off and tend to go more low carb. It does work. Again, I haven't lost. Well, I haven't. I've put some back on since then, but I have been able to lose a little over 100 pounds because of that. And it happened to be more than one diet. It was a cross between the blood type diet, which I kind of used as a blueprint. I didn't completely agree with everything that it said. A little bit of the Atkins, that can be a very strict diet if you're not careful. And I also included the South Beach diet. So I intertwined those three diets together and created my own diet, which basically worked for me. So that's something I wanted to go ahead and pass along to all of you. And she happened to mention plant based foods, things like soy and that type of thing. If you're not used to that, I have tried something called a Boca burger, which is made of soy. Um, yeah, it kind of reminds you of meat, but it's not. Um, I myself am not huge on the plant-based system or type of meals. I'm really not. Let's just say I won't go out of my way to have it. Um, I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think I would lay out the money to get uh, a plant-based item or items to include in my diet. But again, it's really personal preference, but I myself would not do that. And she happened to also mention about mindful of being of stressful shopping. Uh, all you got to do in that respect is if you think it out, you know, let's say today being Saturday, but let's say you have it set up to go shopping on, say, Tuesday or Wednesday. You can go ahead and start thinking it out now. Look at your pantry. Take inventory of all of your food in your refrigerator. Look over what you have. Look over what you don't have. What you don't have, that's what you write down, and look and see what you have. Usually Sundays, I know basing it on the old school system, use looking at the Sunday paper, is when all of your flyers for your grocery stores would come in. Now you can just as easily go online and look up all this information. Here's what I do. I have an app that was passed along to me called Flip, FLIPP. What it does is you go on there and you're going to type in your zip code, and then you're able to choose, whatever stores you like to go and shop at. It'll be anything from grocery store to department store, hardware stores, and places like that. And what you'll do is put in your zip code, and you will have a flyer for each and every one of the grocery stores that are in your area that you can go over and look at. So that's another way to take some of the stress out of grocery shopping, because you can go over and take a look and see what you have as far as what's available from one store to another. And then that'll also help you decide on where you want to go, or if it's not too far from each other in proximity, you could go and shop both stores if you like. Um, and again, here's one that is big on me. I'm big on it. And I know, and I just recently found out that not all states using an EBT card will allow you to use coupons, which I think is very bogus. I really do, because where I'm at here in Florida, you are allowed to use coupons using an EBT card. But I just learned just recently that there are some states out there that will not allow you to use coupons, which I think is ridiculous. And I think everybody should be entitled, no matter what form of payment that you use, to be able to use coupons. I will pass this along. It is another app. It is an app that I use called Providers. Um, it not only do I put in my EBT card information, it gives me a balance the day that I'm going to get replenished. And if you look on there, a lot of the time they will offer you coupons that you are able to use with EBT. It's just something that I recently found. Have I taken advantage of the coupons from that site? No, I haven't. It's just information that I'm passing along. But I probably should go ahead and look into it and give it a try. Anyway, I want to thank you, Jan, for sending me your clip that I included this afternoon. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I need to go ahead and bring that up. Jan and I did a collab on a Hormel Completes meatloaf and mashed potatoes. That will be tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. I will go ahead and link her information up in my description box and in my comment section as a pinned post. That way, all of you that decide to come to me first can watch my video and then go over and watch hers and get her reaction on what she thought of the meatloaf and mashed potatoes. So I want to pass that along to all of you. And I hope all of you have a great Saturday. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Central Time. I want to pass that along because one of my subscribers, or maybe several of you that do live in the Central Time Zone, it'll be 1 o'clock your time. Take care, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Have a good one.